when her aunt was dying, and she was kind of getting close to the end there, and had sort of entered into that twilightish space, became a little disoriented, and Laurie Anderson tells the story of her going into a kind of a panic right there, and asking, "Where's my hat? Where's my hat?" She wanted her hat, and then she died. And Laurie Anderson says that struck her really profoundly. That that moment, it's something sort of for her. She's thinking, I wouldn't want in that moment to be in such a panic, moving in to the next moment. That's the sort of stage you're setting into the next moment. You're in panic and searching for a hat. And I thought about that, and I thought I thought about a poem as a way of kind of a preparation for that moment, as much as you can prepare for that moment, right? Because I also have this friend who lives up in Bellingham, Chris Roberg, another fine musician, who he and his wife are nurses, and they work. They have both worked in some of these homes, people who are getting up there in years, who are kind of entering dementia. And Chris says nobody wants to be in that space. You don't want to be, in that space. But nobody knows when you're going to get into it. You can't say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to have a stroke, or tomorrow I'm going to, and then say, okay, what are you going to do about it? And so I thought, I don't know if writing a poem can be a way to prepare for it. If nothing else, that maybe writing a poem is write each poem as though it were your last. I guess think of it as that. So that's what I was. That's sort of what I created here for that in mind. So I call this "Going Back in All Directions." I was you, feeling the breakup coming, like a seasonal change. A lot can happen in the one-block walk to school. Dogs barking behind the fences. Rain, windows full of mist. That's about it. A couple of fights. It always seemed winter at 2005 45th Avenue Northeast, and we weren't even there for very long. Patterns set up early, 7 years, then move on like a body replacing itself. Let's go to California. Why not? It's better than New Jersey. Load up, take only what you can fit in a suitcase. The rest you leave behind. Who knew then how many times we'd make that I-5 corridor trip in the Volkswagen Bug barely running? Remember when we broke down in Ashland? The biker dude who blew out the clogged fuel line and sent us on our way? Angels on the highway, 12th night at the Shakespeare Festival. I couldn't understand a word. A kid bewildered in the western dust. Aluminum foil on the antenna, weak radio signals, the flattening landscape as we crossed the Siskiyous, the dry wavering fields, unreal heat, the unknown, and then Berkeley. Streets like tangled vines, Tudor windows, mathematicians, jasmine blossoms, a different world of student housing rooms, furnished with 1940s desks, funky shag carpets, and that ghost-thick air. Evening coming on, we got burgers from Oscar's and huddled like refugees in a bare living room, looking for something familiar enough to dissolve into on the television set. My identity is a trap. So is a name. I gave mine up at 12. Took on another. What does it matter what a teacher calls you or a friend? I'll be a cop, a spy, an astronaut, a soldier, an actor, a thief, a convict on the land. Wild boy, they say. Criminal is what I am. Why? Because I lied and said my father was dead instead of explaining divorce, which I didn't get, though I got it, didn't want to stick around. And that's old news. Why go over? We get less and less. Proposition 13 passes. The teachers are on strike. The insane wander the streets. Mad Jude with doomsday plans in his pocket. The nameless others with crazy self-printed stacks of poetry on coffee shop counters and bookstore news bins. Papers fluttering away from sidewalk displays when a big wind comes. It seemed like a city of confusion. It still does, though the faces have changed. Strange mystery of what I was. So much to forget, to get to Strawberry Creek with morning fog punched through by sunlight coming through the eucalyptus trees, squirrels on patrol, Dr. Seuss roots tangled up with seeds and leaves buckling as the water flows relentlessly. Water silver sighing, curling, smooth rolling, rippling through shallow sand eddies, water voicing, water cutting through mountains and boulders, water hidden and water rising to the surface, water parting and sliding over my fingertips, water like an electric shock restarting the heart that autumn day when the sunlight shot down, opening my eyes. The housing guts. We bounced from north side to south side and back. The changes still come to me in distorted dreams. North side was safe. South side was a strange telegraph carnival of predators and junkies, drums in People's Park, drama and sickness and love, first love mixed in but messed up too, as if nothing there could be anything but slightly off. Vicky Brown, church counselor, beauty queen, angel of our fantasies, opening herself to me, a kid of 15, under the blind mind of her husband until it was too obvious to hide. I played the role suave and sure, and when it was over, retreated back into childhood, but that could never last. So I ride up Euclid or even the steep straight hillside of Marin to Wildcat Canyon, and along the ridge over the city, back into Moraga, through those live oak groves and tunnels and heat waves, and fly back into the flatlands, full of the spirit, full of the air, the essence, blown out, blown away, clean and clear to see the world glittering in its 100 hues, its fierce energies flowing through everything. Enter the Steels, Montana family. Mike, the movie actor, writer, singer. Chris, the sister and second eldest, a seminary student and jazz musician. Charlie, my closest friend, poet, guitar player. Influences all. Creative, cool, intelligent, beautiful, fierce. On my 18th birthday, Charlie gave me a copy of 100 Years of Solitude with a fat joint taped inside the front cover. And from then on, it was door opening after another.